All through the late 1960s and well into the 1980s, whispers about the private life of Charles Bronson swirled beside stories of his larger-than-life screen presence. People have imagined what it was really like behind those ice-cold eyes and trademark scowl, but only family truly knew the difference between Bronson, the movie legend, and the man at home. For decades, fans wondered if the real Bronson was as hard-edged with his loved ones as he was with his enemies on the silver screen. Now at last his daughter steps forward to tell her truth. She pulls back the curtain on the global icon's world, a world few were allowed to enter. According to her, those strong, silent evenings at home often echoed the same kind of intensity that made crowds line up for blocks halfway around Tokyo. Yet, something softer sometimes shimmered beneath that tough veneer. A quiet man who struggled with the hardships of his coal mining youth, who rigidly protected his privacy, and who, despite a reputation for never backing down, was fiercely loyal to those he cared about. Despite being known today for his tough guy roles and iconic status in Hollywood, Charles Bronson's early years were anything but glamorous. Growing up on the streets, he faced a rough beginning and often resorted to theft just to get by. Life was a daily struggle, and he endured the kind of hardship most people could hardly imagine. With little hope for a better future, Bronson was drawn away from the honest grind of hard labor in the mines, searching for a way out of the poverty that seemed to trap so many around him. Then came his chance for escape. Bronson joined the army. Soldiering meant regular meals, which was a relief after the lean days he had survived. The army introduced him to a different world, a world of structure, an opportunity far from the lawless streets of his childhood. There, despite his thick accent, he found himself slowly picking up better English. Each day, his speech grew a bit more fluent as he practiced with fellow soldiers and listened to the new sounds around him. Life in the army may have been strict, but for Bronson, it was a step up. He traded desperation for discipline and left behind his life of thievery and struggle, all while growing stronger in ways that would one day help define his fiercely independent on-screen persona. After his military service, Charles Bronson faced a tough period trying to find his footing in civilian life. He took on a range of difficult jobs, from hauling loads as a truck driver to putting in long hours as a steel worker, and even going underground as a mine worker. These were physically demanding, blue-collar jobs that required strength and resilience, and Bronson experienced the relentless grind of manual labor. Life during this time wasn't glamorous, and Bronson often struggled to make ends meet, carrying the weight of uncertainty about his future. However, a chance opportunity arose when he began painting sets for a theater group in Atlantic City, looking simply for steady work, not realizing that the experience would fundamentally change the course of his life. Immersed in the behind-the-scenes world of the stage, Bronson discovered a spark of genuine interest in the performing arts. As he spent time around actors and production crews, he sensed a calling. Once he was given the chance to step out from behind the painted sets and onto the stage, he quickly realized he had a passion for acting. The shift from manual labor to performance offered Bronson a sense of purpose, an expression he hadn't known before. He began to focus all of his energy on acting, gradually turning what started as a practical job painting backdrops into a full-time pursuit that would shape his entire career. Despite facing resistance from Harriet Tendler's family, Charles Bronson and Harriet decided to get married in 1947. Their backgrounds could not have been more different, but the connection between them was strong enough for Bronson to persevere through any disapproval. This personal decision set the stage for some of the most formative years in his life, affecting his outlook as he moved forward both as a husband and as an actor. As the 1950s began, Bronson no longer found himself just another face in the crowd. He started to be noticed in Hollywood for his willingness to take on varying characters that tested different parts of his talent. In the movie The Mob, audiences saw a man comfortable in the world of crime drama, credible and intense. While in The People Against O'Hara, Bronson's presence brought something extra to the cast, highlighting his ability to stand out even in a supporting role. During this period, these early movies not only helped Bronson build the foundation for what would become a long and memorable acting career, but also demonstrated his versatility. He played his roles with a seriousness that caught the eyes of both filmgoers and directors, earning him more opportunities as time went on. Back in the 1950s, as fear swept through America during the Red Scare, Charles Bronson faced a world suspicious of anyone who might be linked to communism. Understanding the danger and prejudice that came with his original name, Binsky, he made the calculated decision to adopt a new name, Bronson. This change was not just cosmetic, it became his shield and his brand. Even as anxieties about loyalty and ideology spread, Bronson worked his way into Hollywood. Soon his career shifted from bit parts to more memorable roles, especially as he landed in movies like Apache and Tennessee Champ. Audiences began to notice his physical toughness, the intensity in his gaze, and the quiet way he carried himself. Directors quickly saw he could play a formidable bad guy. Bronson's brooding style was the opposite of the flashy actors of the era. Instead, he played men who seemed to have lived through hard times, and who weren't afraid to get their hands dirty. These early jobs not only helped him gain a following, but also set the stage for a long-lasting legacy in Hollywood, marking him as a unique force whose career was born out of both the anxieties and the opportunities of his time. During the late 1950s, Charles Bronson began to establish himself as a familiar face on television. At that time, his talent was recognized through prominent lead roles in TV shows such as The Sheriff of Cochise, where he captivated audiences with his intense presence and distinct style. Alongside these lead roles, he made memorable guest appearances on the acclaimed series Alfred Hitchcock Presents, which provided him opportunities to showcase his acting range and versatility. Moving into the 1960s, Bronson fully embraced the world of westerns and television drama. From 1960 to 1970, his reputation grew rapidly, turning him into a well-known actor within the television industry. In particular, he became recognized for his work in the travels of Jamie McFeeters, where he took on important roles that contributed to the show's popularity. As his profile rose, Bronson also appeared in highly regarded series like Bonanza, maintaining steady work and earning admiration from both audiences and his peers. This period was significant for Bronson, as it laid the foundation for his later career in film, and his portrayals in these westerns and TV series highlighted the rugged, determined on-screen persona he would be known for throughout his life. Soon after his appearance in Guns of Diablo, Charles Bronson's career expanded with notable roles in television. His performances in shows like The Legend of Jesse James, as well as his time on Combat, stood out, revealing his unmistakable toughness and unique presence. Moving into the early 1970s, Bronson found a new direction by acting in European films. These movies offered him leading roles that showcased his stoic personality and rugged appeal. Audiences in Europe responded strongly to his style, appreciating the depth and simplicity he brought to each part. Because of his popularity there, Bronson gained tremendous international recognition, far beyond what he had accomplished in American productions. His newfound fame was marked by him winning the Henrietta Award for World Film Favorite Male, a celebration of his growing stature as a beloved star. As Bronson's roles continued to impress, his signature appearance and intense performances made him a familiar face both on television and in theaters around the world. After marrying English actress Jill Ireland in 1968, Bronson stepped into a unique chapter of his life, filled with creative passion and deep personal connections. Together, Bronson and Ireland built a large family of 7 children, bringing their kids along to film sets where work and family merged closely. Their relationship was not just personal, but also highly collaborative. The couple starred together in 15 films, their shared screen presence strengthening the bond between them. Away from the camera, Bronson and Ireland found peace at their homes in Los Angeles and Vermont, making memories as a family whenever they could. Their life together was a blend of hard work in the entertainment industry and moments of family joy, demonstrating a strong partnership both in professional pursuits and family life. They carried their children into their daily routines, turning movie locations and quiet family evenings into lasting memories, building a sense of unity even when their careers took center stage. As the years passed, the connection between Bronson and Ireland endured, marking every shared project and family gathering with a sense of purpose and togetherness that stood out in both their public and private worlds. After Jill Ireland died in 1990 from breast cancer, Charles Bronson entered a period of change both personally and professionally. The loss of his wife, who had been his close companion and frequent co-star, left a deep mark. Yet, Bronson continued to work steadily into the 1980s and 1990s, keeping his presence strong in action movies, many of which were produced by Cannon Films. These roles often cast Bronson as a tough, determined man facing dangerous situations, a persona that audiences had come to expect and enjoy. During this era, he also appeared in several television movies, such as the Family of Cops series, where he played police officers dealing with crime and family matters. His on-screen characters maintained their signature intensity, despite the changes in Bronson's personal life. In 1998, he married Kim Weeks, marking a new chapter and another companion after Ireland's passing. The films and TV work from these later years showed his endurance in Hollywood, as Bronson remained a familiar face for viewers who had followed him through decades of film, even as he navigated the challenges and sorrows of life off-screen. After undergoing hip replacement surgery in 1998, Charles Bronson's health began to decline sharply. The procedure marked a significant change in his life, leading to ongoing health problems that would shadow his final years. In 2003, at the age of 81, Bronson died, leaving behind a body of work that stands as a testament to his status as a beloved figure in the world of film. Yet throughout his impressive career, he was never given major awards or official recognition from the film industry or its critics. This absence stands in sharp contrast to his widespread popularity and the impact he had on audiences around the world. Despite not having the traditional symbols of acclaim that many actors strive for, Bronson's legacy continues. He is remembered as a strong on-screen presence whose stoic characters resonated with viewers and whose films are still watched and enjoyed. His face and name remain familiar decades after his passing, showing that awards are not always necessary to become a celebrated movie star. Even as the years pass, Bronson's influence on film and his unique style endure, cementing his place in cinema history. Despite being most recognized for his tough guy roles in films, Bronson had a surprisingly gentle and creative side that he kept separate from his screen persona. Away from the camera, he expressed himself through painting, using his real name, Binsky, to sign his work. This decision allowed him to share art with the world without the influence of his celebrity, making sure that each piece would be judged solely on its artistic value and not on the fame attached to the name Bronson. He poured a different kind of passion into painting, one rooted in personal expression rather than performance. This separation was important to him, giving him the freedom to explore his artistic abilities without expectation. Collectors and art lovers who came across his pieces as Binsky appreciated the depth and skill he brought to the canvas, often not realizing who was behind the brush. The use of his true name created a quiet space in which he could be valued simply as an artist, offering a glimpse into the private and sensitive side of a man mostly known for his hard-edged characters. Through his art, Binsky could reveal feelings and ideas that movies never showed, letting his true self come forward in every color and line. This lesser-known aspect of his life opens a window into a world where talent stood on its own, unshadowed by fame and public image. Sometimes, this desire for honest feedback and appreciation is what gives an artist the most satisfaction, even more than the applause on stage or